So like I said, I love Charlie. She was the most sarcastic, just carefree, nerdy, love it all. So, but I know that her getting to come out of kind of the Alice in Wonderland when she was horrible, evil, badass Charlie, and then this little sweet Charlie, how fun was it to kick the crap out of Dean?
You mean, okay, first of all, you mean Wizard of Oz, right? Alice in Wonderland? Because I want to see that spin-off.
Sorry, Wizard of Oz.
Because a grown-up Alice would be so hot, like, right? Is that creepy? No, that's creepy. Am I creepy? No, because we're talking about, because Dorothy was, let's not talk about anything I just talked about. Just like an adult version. Anybody ever play that video game, the Dark Alice? Right? Why is that in the show? Why am I talking about? Anyway, what's your question? Oh yeah, I was trying to kick these ass. No, because here's the thing. I had to sit on his face. Like, I did something. I mean, technically, it was a fight scene, and I was bad Charlie. I was dark Charlie, and I had to like and it was just all I remember was I was so self-conscious about my crotch being way too close to an area of Jensen I didn't feel comfortable with, and I was just glad they were like leather pants. They were like the thickest fabric you could.
Would you have loved to do more stuff with Bruce Connell in the show and follow that the sort of the witchy sidekick?
Yes. I mean, I would have loved to have done more all over. Like, I just feel like there were a lot of moments, especially like my one, like if I could go back and like have a magic wand of like what I could do. I mean, not God. But after that, it would have been so lovely to have see Apocalypse Charlie and Dean cement that relationship. Because for me, that was what really was the heart of, I mean, Charlie and Sam had a couple of amazing episodes, especially toward the end of OG Charlie's run. But there was such a relationship between Charlie and Dean, and I was just really regretful that they didn't have, there was a lot going on. There just wasn't room for Charlie and Dean to renew that relationship. Because I feel like she is Charlie. They have that chemistry. They have that need in each other to lift each other up, to be there for each other. Even though Charlie's been through, Apocalypse Charlie went through a lot that OG Charlie did. And so it would have been nice to have that one scene. And then it would be also, I mean, Ruth and I talk about it a lot. Like, what happened on the road trip with Apocalypse Charlie and Marina? I mean, I'm sure that we fought. We might have kissed. I don't know. Tell me what happened. Thank you for that question.
So, what was your least favorite episode filming?
When I died. I was just talking about this the other day that, I was this is a true story I'll tell you about how I died. That's far enough away. So I was in the car on my street and I got a phone call from one of the showrunners of Supernatural. And I was like, and it was the night that one of my episodes was airing, the good, dark and light Charlie, good and bad Charlie. And I was really nervous about that performance. Anyway, I was like, oh, who's calling me? Oh, it's Bob. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, we have to kill you off. And I was like, you're dying? I'm dying? Like, for real? He's like, yeah, forever. I'm like, oh. And the only thing I could think of was that it killed me off because the episode was so bad. And I asked him later, he's like, no, what? What are you talking about? Like, but to me, in my mind, because of my own neurosis, I'm good at neurosis, I thought they were like writing me off the show because they didn't like my performance, which is not the case. So it was already like came from a place of deep-seated anxiety and depression. And then all I can remember is the day that I was shooting that scene, and we did the scene where the dude with one arm came into the hotel bathroom. Spoiler alert, I died on the show. And the Stein guy with the one arm was like busting in this cheap hotel bathroom. And all I could do when I was sitting there waiting for him to bust in was look at the window. I was like, Charlie can fit through that window. I even mentioned it. I mentioned it and I was like, my hips can fit through here. This is amazing. Just go. It's okay though. Like, honestly, It's just what TV is, and the wonderful thing is I got to play for 3 more years. I still got to come back, and that's the wonderful thing about being a Supernatural. Like, you're always family, even if you're a dead corpse. Thanks for that question. Next!
Okay, everyone here might hate me after this question, but I saw a video that asked at Comic-Con a few years ago, and the question is, considering that women too often have been used to further the plot of male characters, what do you think about the decision to kill Charlie and dump her in a bathtub? Like, do you think they could have found a better way to kill Charlie?
I mean...
Or not to kill her at all?
You trying to make a TikTok right now or something?
No.
I mean, listen, what I can say is that I would love to be on the show more, and I don't think that the writers, I think that it's so hard to make TV, y'all. You don't understand, I think unless you're on a set seeing all the moving pieces, and the set is just like a third of the personnel who go to make a TV show. And when you're on a 22 episode, I think if you watch an episode that's 8 episodes, they got a lot more room and a lot more time to be able to make the best decision possible. And I'm not saying that it wasn't the best decision at the time, I'm just saying for 22 episodes, you just gotta make a decision. And so I'm not gonna sit there and retcon a bunch of writers and producers who love the show so much in such a visceral way and say, well, you should have done it this way. It's very easy to quarterback like that. I mean, what I love is that fandom can keep people on track. And so you guys, I think probably your response to Charlie being killed off in that way, which is, it is what it is, your response probably brought me back to the show. So that's the wonderful thing about fandom in this world now. Producers and writers, they want to do the best. Sometimes they have a point of view that might not resonate with a lot of people. You guys lifting your voices up and saying, hey, that's not cool, makes change happen. And that's wonderful when you have a show that actually listens to their fans. So, there's always good for bad, and I'm not going to second guess. And yeah, it was pretty gross for me in a bathtub, but it just was uncomfortable because I was covered in corn syrup. So, anyway, so thank you for asking that question. And I feel like thinking along those lines is really relevant because the power that you have as a fan, if you're unhappy about that and feel like that, your voice matters. And letting it out there in the world and gathering strength can make a difference in stories, but also the world. So thank you for that. My favorite scene to shoot is Supernatural. Okay, I can say my least favorite scene. You want me to start with that? My least favorite scene was not even me dying. It was me. Does anybody remember the episode where I was hunting? OG Charlie was hunting, and the episode opened with a dumpster, and I come out of a dumpster and I stab a dude under the chin through his head. That was the most embarrassing shooting I've ever done because I could not. It was like opening. So I'm just uncoordinated. Okay, I'll just give you that. And when they opened the dumpster, I was crouching and I have no upper thigh strength. I have no thigh strength. I don't move. All right. So I'm sitting there like this with my rapier, and I'm in a complete darkness. And they open it, and a stunt dude's over me, and I'm like, action. And I almost took the guy's eye out. The rapier was going everywhere. It was the least badass thing ever. So they had to eventually get the stunt woman in and actually do it properly. Because the guy was like, I don't want to lose an eye. So that was the worst moment. Best moments are when Jared kind of picks me up. And he's done it 3 times. And it's always like being lifted by God. It smells good, it's strong. Nothing bad about that. All right. Thank you for that question. Next.
I actually wanted to ask, what was your favorite episode of Supernatural you ever saw?
Oh, I love that Groundhog Day one with Jensen. That's my favorite. I feel like I've seen that episode 3 or 4 times because it's just so funny and good, and it's really well done. I also love the musical episode that I was not in. By the way, you guys, how exciting is it that Robbie Thompson, who created and wrote almost all of OG Charlie's episodes, is doing the prequel? I mean, there isn't a better person, and he's so incredible, and he's such a lovely person. I just can't even, of course I can't be in it because it's pre-born Charlie, but hey, at the same time, maybe I look like my mom. Anyway. No, but it's really exciting for me just as a fan. I cannot wait to see what they do with it. Anyway, thank you for your question.
So did Charlie and Dorothy, because Dorothy was also super badass, you know, like when they went over to Oz.
Oh, good question. Okay, so if you have the DVDs, that episode where I come back, I have a scene with Sam that got cut from the car. And so we were in the car driving home, and it was a big monologue I had, and it ended up getting cut for time. And I do explain what happened in Oz, and it was very clear that Dorothy and Charlie were not an item. So if anybody, oh, everyone's pissed. It was, I mean, right? Has anybody seen that extra scene on the DVD? Where I have the monologue and I talk about like the monkey feet, you know, like it was a long thing. It was really a lot of detail about it, and it got cut, which is like sucks because I memorized a lot. It's an amazing job. So anyway, somebody watch that extra if it's on the DVD and just tell me. But yeah, it was really clear that we felt like sisters versus lovers in a way. And of course, that's not going to negate anything you guys have written and posted online. Okay, you do you. And since it got cut, it really isn't canon. So, all right, I'll give you that one. Okay.
So you said earlier what you would like to see between Apocalypse Charlie and Dean. I'm curious if OG Charlie came back. Were there any scenes you would have loved to do, like specifically in mind with?
Yes, I wanted OG Charlie and Cass to get. I mean, so basically, I got the script for the episode before I get killed off, and I didn't know about the one where I ended, you know, I was off the show. So at the end of the episode before that, I meet Cass, and I'm like, oh, we're going to be best friends, or we're best friends already. Like, I have a line that I can't remember, but it's something about, we're going to be best friends. And then I was like, oh, we're gonna have a storyline with Cass and Charlie. No, I died. But in my headspace, I feel like Charlie and Cass would have been super fun together. Because he has this naivety, and she has naivety, and maybe she would have been like, I'm going to show you this, and then everything would have gotten in trouble because she didn't think things through. So I have a whole thing where I'm like, I think that would have been a really fun pairing to see. And yeah, that's what I would have loved to see. Thank you.